Welcome to my class. Today we're going to do the state of environment in India. So when you're talking about any environment state, what comes into your mind? Just think. Number one, you can talk about what natural resources. Then you're talking about pollution. Then you're talking about land degradation, and you're also talking about biodiversity loss. So that's what we'll be doing. Let's just take a look at all this. So talking about what is the state of affair. So just take the natural resources. India is a rich country in terms of its natural resources. It has a rich quality of soil, green forests, rivers, and plenty of mineral deposits. The black soil of the Deccan Plateau is most suitable for cotton plant production. Then we have the great Indo-Gangetic Plain, which spreads from the Arabian Sea to the Bay of Bengal. It's one of the most fertile regions of the world. And talking about India's forests, they provide a green cover of a majority of its population and also for its wildlife. India has a forest cover which constitutes about 21% of the total geographical area. And we have large deposits of iron ore, coal, and natural gas. So it holds nearly 20% of the world's total iron ore reserves. Then we have also mountain ranges. Mountain ranges that facilitate the operation of many hydel plants. And it has a vast variety of vegetation. And we have a flora of 15,000 species of plants. And then, but talking about the ongoing process of development, India has created a huge amount of pressure on these natural resources. So it has adversely affected the well-being of the people. How? By pollution, air, water, sound, water contamination, soil erosion, deforestation, disappearance of wildlife are some of the most serious environmental concerns of India. And talking about this, the challenging issues, what are they? Land degradation, loss of biodiversity. That is the state of environment in India. Then there's air pollution in urban areas. Then we have to manage fresh water. We don't get fresh water enough. So many waterborne diseases are there. And then the management of solid waste itself. All these are issues that talk about the state of environment in India. And then we have spoken at length about the noise pollution. We talked about the air pollution, water pollution. Regarding degradation of land, over the years the country's land mass has suffered from different types of degradation. So what are those? So it is estimated that the soil India is being in India the soil is being eroded at a rate of 5.3 billion tons annually. So then there's a loss of nitrogen, so many tons of phosphorus. I mean, these people have worked it out. And so many tons of potassium every year. So you lose a lot of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in the soil. Then we see that about 13 million hectares of agricultural land cannot be cultivated because they are either waterlogged or because they are either saline. So nothing grows there. And so one has to look into that also. So degradation of land is all because of deforestation, overgrazing. That's because of overgrazing, then improper crop rotation, etc. Shifting, improper use of agrochemicals such as fertilizers and pesticides. And then talking about biodiversity loss. So what is that? The root cause is the escalating human population. And if we're talking about population, then India has about 17% of world's human population. and it has 20% of the livestock population on a mere 2.5% of the world's geographical area. So then what happens? Why this? So this is a prime reason which affects the biodiversity. So much of loss. So what happens? So there's a destruction of habitat. We are going on increasing the area for us to stay, and the habitation of the other living beings are marginalized. They don't get it, and then if they stray into our area, we make such a big hullabaloo about it, such a lot of fuss. Like we do see a lot of we say, okay, there's a menace of monkeys. Why we, how do we even, let's address that their problem. Their habitat is gone. Where do they go? And then we treat them, we actually treat them. If SPCA has to do something, they should do, say the Society for Prevention for Cruelty to Animals, they should do something on that grounds. So that's just that one little thing that we are just noticing in our day-to-day lives. Then there has been a climate change, and because of the climate change, the food cycle changes, and so many living beings have become extinct. Talking about flora and fauna both, because of the change in the food habits. Then all this also gets, because we are using large tracts of forests which are covered, we are changing them into land mass. So then ecosystem and species get jeopardized. There are natural calamities that we can think of, one sees every day. The news is full of that. Talking about forest fires, we talk about so many cyclones that are coming up, and so all this is, there's a massive loss of biodiversity in that. So one has to really address this problem. I mean, that is the state of environment in India, talking about India, but it is a problem generally at large.